I had so much fun creating the stylized characters for my Heroes of Bronze world. In fact, it was one of the reasons why I started to work on this story in the first place. I spent so much time working on and reworking the characters that in the meantime, their backstories kinda materialized in my mind. One thing led to another, and from these story ideas, I put together the wider, overarching storyline for the planned Heroes of Bronze series. All these tie to the story I fleshed out in the Heroes of Bronze The Memory short film, and also into the illustrated short stories that you can find at my Patreon. However, I'll be the first one to admit that I'm no character designer. One of the most frequent criticisms of my latest Heroes of Bronze concept teaser was that all of the characters, no matter if Greek or Persian, they sort of look the same. And yeah, I kinda see what they mean. And since I always aim to improve my work, I decided to do something about it. Or rather, I could say I was lucky, because at the very same time that I had these thoughts, I received an email from an artist named Iosu Palacios, who graciously offered his help for the project. And once I clicked on his website, I was immediately intrigued. One thing led to another, and in a matter of weeks, Iosu became part of the project. I delivered my designs and my 3D models, and I gave them to Iosu to redesign these guys to look more unique and distinct, while still capturing their personalities and not straying too far from the original idea. And I think it's best now to let Iosu himself speak about his work.
This is Heroes of Bronze, a project by Martin Kleckner, which aspires to recreate stories of ancient antiquity in animation like never seen before. The moment I saw these tastefully arranged shots and the care for historical accuracy you are seeing right now, I knew I wanted to take part in this project. Soon enough, after making contact, Martin was so kind as to give me my first assignment: redesign the trio of protagonists, an eclectic group of larger-than-life characters who will be involved in the troublesome events of the Ionian Revolt, which will, in time, draw the attention of the almighty Persian Empire. Philippos of Miletus has spent a lifetime earning stability under the status quo of the city. A high-ranking officer and a family man, he moves through the world with patience and purpose. Slow to anger, this gentle giant will become an absolute menace against his foes when pushed too far. Nikephoros of Athens is a sea trader who has made a life out of chasing glory. Generous and fearless by nature, he acts before he thinks, and somehow it has served him well. Philippos and Nikephoros' brotherhood goes back a long way. His stubborn and uncompromising nature contrasts with Philippos' calm disposition, making them both foils to one another. Arinam of Pasargadi is a man of few words with a sharp mind, who is bound by duty to the legacy of his family, a down-to-their-luck Persian noble house, and his master Artaphornes, yet drawn by friendship to Nikephoros and Philippos. He will watch with concern the approach of war, which will test the foundation of his loyalties. Coming to the project from a more cartoonish shows in the past, took me a while to find myself comfortable redesigning a style which would ask for a dramatic realism and yet still with such a stylized final look. I chose to emphasize bold, thicker strokes to signal where the shadow would be stronger in the topology of a texture, for example, or offsetting lines and simplifying shapes to capture a bit of stylization in an otherwise historically accurate armor. Also, one of my favorite parts of character design is to deep dive into their personalities through their culture. For instance, Nikephoros has a wild, squared beard, paired with an old 100 times repaired bronze cuirass, which suits an adventurer who is away from home and does not entertain himself in grooming activities. On the other hand, Philippos has a family which will keep him accountable for his appearance, and an armor modern enough for the period to match his status among Greek soldiers. Arinam is a noble in the Persian Empire, so he has to look the part, with a well-kept, well-groomed presentation. I'm very excited to show you what I will be working on in the future for Heroes of Bronze. I want to thank Martin for this opportunity, and please, keep tuned, and I will see you around. Cheers!
So there you have it, the wonderful redesigns of my main characters, accomplishing exactly what I needed for the project, to highlight their personalities with a fresh design, while still retaining the look of Nikephoros, Philippos and Arinam. And now, armed with these amazing concepts, I'm already working on the updated models of my main heroes, which I hope I will be able to present to in a near future. And if you like Iosu's work, definitely give him a follow at social media, links are of course in the description. And by the way, if you support Heroes of Bronze at Patreon, your donations are what's making this design work possible. They're funding not only Iosu's work, but also all my new videos, including a new short film that I'm currently working on, one that I've been keeping under wraps until now. More on that one pretty soon. So until next time, stay creative my friends, Martin out.